In the seventh confirmeth he the same with a similitude of the state of matrimony, as when the husband dieth, the wife is at her liberty, and the one loosed and departed from the other. Not that the woman should not have power to marry unto another man, but rather now first of all is she free, and hath power to marry unto another man, which she could not do before, till she was loosed from her first husband. Even so are our consciences bound and in danger to the law under old Adam the flesh, as long as he liveth in us. For the law declareth that our hearts are bound, and that we cannot disconsent from him. But when he is mortified and killed by the Spirit, then is the conscience free and at liberty, not so that the conscience shall now not do, but now first of all cleaveth unto another, that is to wit Christ, and bringeth forth the fruits of life. So now to be under the law is not to be able to fulfill the law, but to be debtor to it, and not able to pay that which the law requireth. And to be loose from the law is to fulfill it, and to pay that which the law demandeth, so that it can now henceforth ask thee not. Consequently, Paul declareth more largely the nature of sin and of the law, how that through the law sin reviveth, moveth herself, and gathereth strength. For the old man and corrupt nature, the more he is forbidden and kept under the law, is the more offended and displeased therewith, for as much as he cannot pay that which is required of the law. For sin is his nature, and of himself he cannot but sin. Therefore is the law death to him, torment, and martyrdom. Not that the law is evil, but because that the evil nature cannot suffer that which is good, cannot abide that the law should require of him any good thing. Like as a sick man cannot suffer that a man should desire of him to run, to leap, and to do other deeds of an whole man. For which cause St. Paul concludeth, that where the law is understand and perceived of the best wise, there it doeth no more but utter sin, and bring us unto the knowledge of ourselves, and thereby kill us, and make us bound unto eternal damnation, and debtors of the everlasting wrath of God, even as he well feeleth and understandeth, whose conscience is truly touched of the law. In such danger were we ere the law came, that we knew not what sin meant, neither yet knew we the wrath of God upon sinners, till the law hath uttered it. So seest thou that a man must have some other thing, yea, and a greater and a more mighty thing than the law, to make him righteous and safe. They that understand not the law on this wise are blind and go to work presumptuously, supposing to satisfy the law with works. For they know not that the law requireth a free, a willing, a lusty, and a loving heart. Therefore they see not Moses right in the face. The veil hangeth between and hideth his face, so that they cannot behold the glory of his countenance, how that the law is spiritual and requireth the heart. I may of mine own strength refrain that I do mine enemy no hurt, but to love him with all mine heart, and to put away wrath clean out of my mind, can I not of mine own strength. I may refuse money of mine own strength, but to put away love unto riches out of mine heart, can I not do of mine own strength. To abstain from adultery as concerning the outward deed, can I do of mine own strength. But not to desire in mine heart is an unpossible unto me, as is to choose whether I will hunger or thirst, and yet so the law requireth. Wherefore of a man's own strength is the law never fulfilled, as we must have thereunto God's favor, and is spirit, purchased by Christ's blood. Nevertheless, when I say a man may do many things outwardly clean against his heart, we must understand that man is but driven of divers appetites, and the greatest appetite overcometh the less, and carrieth the man away violently with her. As when I desire vengeance, and fear also the inconvenience that is like to follow. If fear be greater, I abstain. If the appetite that desireth vengeance be greater, I cannot but prosecute the deed, as we see by experience in many murderers and thieves, which though they be brought into never so great peril of death, yet after they have escaped, do even the same again. And common women prosecute their lusts because fear and shame are away, when other, which have the same appetites in their hearts, abstain at the least way outwardly, or work secretly, being overcome of fear and of shame. And so likewise is it of all other appetites. Furthermore he declareth, how the spirit and the flesh fight together in one man, and maketh an ensample of himself, that we might learn to know how to work aright, I mean to kill sin in ourselves. He calleth both the spirit and also the flesh a law, because that like as the nature of God's law is to drive, to compel, and to crave, even so the flesh driveth, compelleth, craveth, and rageth against the spirit, and will have her lusts satisfied. On the other side driveth the spirit, crieth and fighteth against the flesh, and will have his lust satisfied. And this strife dureth in us as long as we live, in some more and in some less, as the spirit or the flesh is stronger, and the very man his own self is both the spirit and the flesh, which fighteth with his own self until sin be utterly slain and we altogether spiritual.